guarantee for implementation. For a honorary, we are giving 25,000 rupees at the taluk level, at least to give coffee, tea to some of their people who come to there for the deprived people. They have to run an office. So 50,000. Let anyone make any allegation. It is the right will of the government. We don't want any other money, some other bills to be exacted from that. So we have limited and we have given them 50,000 rupees at the district level, 20 or 25,000 rupees in the taluk level. It is all a bogus propaganda. No illegal has been done by my government or the chief. Everything has been done in the BJP government. They are the kings and they are they have created all this scam. They are the kings of scams in Karnataka.
In yet another major development, activist T.J. Abraham announced that he will seek the governor's consent for prosecution of Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah on Friday. In connection with the MUDA case, he added that he's taking this step after filing a complaint with the Lokayukta police in Mysore in connection with the alleged illegal allotment of 14 alternative compensatory sites in Vijayanagar in Mysore to B.M. Parvati, that is Siddaramaiah's wife, in January of 2022, causing a loss of 44.64 crores to the state exchequer. Will Siddaramaiah cross the MUDA Rubicon? Will he be able to survive this onslaught, as it were? Let's debate. Nizam Faujdar, General Secretary and spokesperson for the KPCC, has joined us, and also Vijay Prasad, spokesperson for the BJP. A very warm welcome to both of you. Vijay, I want to ask you that you are relentless in your attack and you are only bothered about the resignation of Siddaramaiah. I want to ask you a thing, that when an SIT has been formed, does that not suffice in this case? Much like, let us say, in Prajwal Revanna's case also, an SIT was formed and then it was taken step by step to the conclusion of the case. Why is it that your relentless day and night vigil happened? We all saw the ruckus which was created. The ruckus was also created in Lok Sabha. The ruckus was created in the Rajya Sabha here in the national capital. And now you are planning as well a Padyatra. Vijay Prasad.
Yeah. Very good evening, Sudha, and to other panelists. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The Congress government, the atrocities they have created on the SC, STs and the Dalits is mind-boggling. And BJP, as a responsible opposition in Karnataka, we have raised this voice inside the assembly and outside the assembly. And we are taking this into a logical conclusion by taking the Padyatra. And we are meeting the people and telling them, you see, the funds meant for the welfare of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, it can be Valmiki Corporation or the SCPs, and these are the funds that they meant for the socio-economic upliftment of these people.
What about MUDA? Yeah, Valmiki is very...
Yeah, even the MUDA. See, this government and especially Siddaramaiah is fighting a lone battle, and he's a losing battle. He's fighting a losing battle. And if you see the body language outside the assembly, inside the assembly, he is totally shaken. And believe me, trust me, Sudha, all the Congress MLAs were paraded before Siddaramaiah and they were taken to task because they were not defending Siddaramaiah inside the assembly when BJP MLAs were going hammer and tongs against the corruption done by the Congress in the last 1.5 years. And overnight, some of the documents meant for which is related to MUDA site were transported from Mysore to Bangalore overnight. Why did this happen? If nothing has happened, if as claimed by Siddaramaiah or which is where DCM
all right.
Shivkumar is trying to go on giving a clean chit to all.
But
to
I have to
Sundays.
take a break now before I go to Nizam
tell-
Fauzdar, Vijay Prasad. But I also will ask you when I come back after a break. There are now names not only of HDK, that is HD Kumaraswamy, but also some other BJP names in the entire MUDA allotment. I will not call it a scam. Ladies and gentlemen, taking a break right now in the show, but when I come back, I will speak to Nizam Fauzdar, General Secretary and spokesperson of the KPCC. See you on the other side. Stay with us.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है Money9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
This is News9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
इस खेल में अब खेला होगा, हर नहले पे दहला होगा। टीम बड़ा है, स्टेज बड़ा है, पूरा भारत साथ खड़ा है। साथ खड़ा है। गेम बड़ा है, dribble like a rap, pass, setting up the trap, kick it hard in the ball, chuck, they football. Saturday football. Saturday football. Saturday football.
That's our main story. The MUDA scam explodes in Karnataka, and there's been a lot of protest by the opposition, the BJP, in day and night vigil in the Vidhana Saudha. And apart from that, they are now planning Padyatra, a 10-day Padyatra in the state, maybe on the 31st of July or the 1st of August. Let me now bring in Nizam Fauzdar, General Secretary and spokesperson for the KPCC, who's now joined us. Nizam, I have never seen such a kind of an onslaught on your government after Mr. Siddaramaiah took over. Everything pales in comparison. The point is, what is really something which is very, very puzzling is that you see Siddaramaiah either defending himself or being helpless and saying you're all very jealous of me, you know, something which is very amateurish. I want to understand that you have an SIT, you've put an SIT in place. You've also discontinued the MUDA scam. What is it that the BJP is now looking for? Or perhaps even Mr. TJ Abraham, you know, the activist who's gone and met the governor today, and after his press conference, he also is asking Siddaramaiah should be removed. Nizam.
Sudhaji, the way Mr. Vijay was saying, it sounded like, the whole world has come to an end. They are not understanding that the land that was sanctioned in the name of the Siddaramaiah's wife was done by the Bommai government, and they are disowning it now. They commit a murder and then they accuse the person who is actually a witness to it. This is the kind of mentality the BJP has. Mr. Vijay needs to answer that 6.6 lakh hectare of land which was denotified for their own purpose of BJP's crony capitalists and which is still under investigation. He needs to answer that 6.6 lakh hectares of land, forest land, which was denotified by Mr. Rarashok. He's still not given an answer to it. He needs to answer that. They need to answer that 3 lakh crores that they have siphoned off between 2019 and 2013, 2023, they need to answer that. Where did those 3 lakh crores go? We are doing some serious investigations. Sudhaji, believe me, coming in the next 3-4 months, you will see all the dirt that the BJP has collected and siphoned out lakhs of crores of rupees from the exchequer. We will expose these
But
people.
Nizam, considering
They have
that
no
you have
interest.
all the answers, I want to know about the 14 alternative sites, Nizam Faujdar, and the loss of almost 5,000 crores to the state exchequer. So can you please explain the 14 alternative sites argument that is today being said as a red flag against Siddaramaiah and Parvati ji in this entire MUDA scam?
No, I don't think so. Why do we need to even answer? There was a claim, there was a land which was acquired, then there was a claim. The BJP government, when it was in power, Mr. Bommai, sanctioned it. If it was wrong, why did they sanction? This question needs to be answered. This needs to be questioned to the BJP, and they need to answer this question. You don't need to. I don't need to answer. I requested
And where was
you, I put an
Siddaramaiah ji
application.
when Bommai was the chief minister? Was it during Bommai's recent tenure? I don't think so.
See, Sudha, let's take the beginning of this whole thing from 1983-84, right?
Yeah.
From then to now, the BJP is in power 2-3 times, right? Now, when they had 10 years, 12 years of absolute governance, they were sleeping.
What
They
was
were busy
Siddaramaiah
robbing.
doing when the
They were
land
busy-
was given by
No,
Mallikarjun ji?
No, Sudha,
What was
Sudha,
his
Sudha, it's
status?
very clear.
अरे भाई ये
The
देखिए
simple-
देखिए
नहीं,
चोर चोर
सुधा जी,
मसरे भाई
चोरी-
हिंदी में कहावत है.
नहीं,
I
नहीं
don't
हो
care.
सकता.
I'm just
नहीं,
saying.
सुधा,
अरे come on. What was
मैम,
Bommai?
मैडम,
आज Bommai
देखिए.
है, कल Bommai is also not from RSS BJP stable. He
will-
also has
I
a
will-
socialist
I will.
background. So does Mr. Siddaramaiah. What are we? I am just asking you one question, Nizam. I respect where you coming from. I want to know where was Siddaramaiah ji at that time when this whole MUDA thing was happening. Was he in retirement?
See,
was he in oblivion?
No. See, when you have not done anything wrong, you don't tend to hide anything.
Arey bhai, he
Everything
was
is in
also
in
there, very
public
much
domain.
there.
It is-
See, you're not giving
How
me
do you
the
say that?
14 alternative sites. If someone has taken land from me and then given me an alternative site, which is really lucrative, everyone will question. And 14 alternative sites. You know, the thing is
No,
today.
now, Sudha, I'll put the same question to you. If you are giving certain land to the government for a certain use, either it could be the allotment of sites to the people, it could be for the poor people, it could be for the elite, it could be anybody who puts an application.
Okay.
When they take land from Sudha, and Sudha is expecting a certain amount of compensation. And the compensation based on the formula it has been given to the lady. And now you say because she's the chief minister's wife, why should she be entitled for it? Why should
Precisely.
she be-
That's
the
called
question.
entitlement. That is called
Nahi hai.
privilege.
This is not the entitlement.
Now, wait a minute. No,
This
it's not
is
convincing.
basically the
Mr.
right.
Vijay Prasad, please come in here. I want you to now
He
tell me
is-
about
he-
14 alternative sites, sir. I don't believe this, that was, Bommai, sir, at that time. Just tell me about 14 alternative sites for this 3.16 acres of land belonging to Parvati, which was given to her as a gift by her brother Mallikarjun. Simple.
See, Sudha, in this MUDA case, the Congress is right royally caught their pants down. And there is a very beautiful chronology of events starting from Ninga, where the original transaction started happening, right till the allotment of 14 sites in the name of CM Siddaramaiah's wife. There is a clear-cut chronology of events that has happened.
Right.
At every stage, Congress, as you mentioned, Siddaramaiah has used this entitlement category, entitlement class as a CM, as a former CM,
Absolutely.
as an opposition, as a CM, as a opposition leader. He has entitled and used it. And the amount of time he is taking to defend. He could have, at the same time, did Siddaramaiah use the same yardstick in giving the compensation to the farmers who has lost their land? Did they use the same
Oh,
kind
come
of
on,
yardstick?
Vijay Prasad. Now,
And
don't
every
go
time-
on,
every-
don't
no,
go
every
all moral
time-
on
every
me.
time Congress-
Everyone,
no,
like I said, everyone
no,
is
no.
equal. We know the 40% Sarkar. You've not answered.
No, no, no.
I think
Even
Nizam
today-
wants
even
to come
today,
in.
Sudha,
No, it's not
even
fair.
though
Nizam,
40%
please take it over,
Sarkar,
Nizam.
Oh, Sudha, the simple. If the public of Karnataka says, Siddaramaiah ji, why don't you donate this land to the government? I think Siddaramaiah would be more than happy to do that. He has never seek the great amount, those great comforts and the entitlement from the government. He's a very normal, he's a very simple person. He doesn't. He's not the kind of the capitalist type of this chief minister. He's a very socialist. He is simply saying, I asked the government of the day, gave it, and I think it's over. And if you want to take it back, take it back. He's absolutely fine with that. Now we are simply saying that he's grabbing the land, he's become a land mafia, but the BJP is the land mafia. 6.6 lakh hectares of land, they have just taken
Acha,
it
okay.
away.
Nizam,
we need to ask that question, right?
Sure,
That's the
Nizam, I
question.
want to
That's
ask
the
you
14 sites.
that, I
The
respect,
14 sites.
I know that Siddaramaiah is a very tall leader. One has seen his career. The point is, this time around, not only is he defending himself and rather badly, he is also, resorting to stuff like, oh, I'm a backward, that's why you're attacking me. He said that. You are jealous of me. You see, from a man who knows his finance, when I say finance, not his personal money, but who's presented budgets and is supposed to be a doyen, to be behaving like this is not right. And the 14 alternative sites, he has given no convincing explanation. Nizam Faujdar, even with, like you say, he says this is the land. MUDA gave it. Now they gave this site to my wife. I had nothing to do with it. You want to take it back? Take it back. That's not the issue. How did it come to Parvati in the first place is the question. That's what the people want to know. If you want to run a very, very honest government, then you have to answer. You can't be above Caesar's wife, as they say in English. Go on.
See, Sudha, if Siddaramaiah's brother had gifted that land to Miss Parvati, the madam, and then we would have said we don't know where it came from, then it would sound very wrong. The brother of the Parvati ma'am has given that land. How he has procured, how did he do it? It's a different question. It was a gift. The land that came to her name is through a gift. And that was taken over by the MUDA. And the MUDA has compensated. And it's a simple answer. When you see he's saying that he's claiming that he's a OBC, I think Prime Minister stood in the Parliament and he said he's the biggest OBC. And I think when he claims it's right, when a person who is truly socialist, who is truly working for Ahinda, I think that man definitely has every
All right.
right to
We
say
also
that
have,
I
I'm
am a
sorry,
backward.
we also have Mr. T.G. Abraham on the phone line. He's joined us. He met with the governor today asking for the resignation of Siddaramaiah. He's a very, very well-known activist from Bengaluru, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Abraham, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what have you actually, submitted to the Honorable Governor, sir?
See, I have sought permission or a sanction for prosecution against Mr. Siddaramaiah. And I have narrated the entire chronology of events that have happened, which are not in the right legal sense. It's not proper. It's improper. So I highlighted everything, and whatever is illegal has been brought to his notice, and I've sought him to give me permission to prosecute him.
Mr. Abraham, Mr. Abraham, I want to ask you that, I was just discussing it with two of my friends from the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka. I think the word entitlement and privilege, whether it was Bommai's government or not, does not matter. I think the entire case, first of all, if you take, point by point, smacks of entitlement and someone signing it only because it's Siddaramaiah. Would I be right in saying that, sir?
Absolutely. I don't have to add another full stop or a comma to what you just said.
Right. And also the 14 alternative sites, sir. Do you think that is a big bit of OTT, like we say, over the top reaction by MUDA, only because his name happens to be Siddaramaiah?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're not giving me a chance to say anything because you're saying it. Fantastic.
Mr. Ibrahim, please go ahead and say something so that
No.
Sir,
You're nailing it. You're nailing it. That's exactly what has happened.
No, but yeah.
How can somebody who loses land in Hoskote get alternative sites in Sadarshinagar?
Exactly. So I'm saying
The alternative sites should have been in the vacant land or vacant sites which are there in Hoskote or the neighboring area like Budgeri, somewhere like that. But it can't be in Sadarshinagar. That smacks of absolute political and executive ruthless use of political and executive power.
Also, Mr. Abraham, considering that Mr. Basavaraj Bommai was at the helm of affairs, does it really matter? I think in politics, you scratch my back and I can scratch back yours, very, very happily, because it all evens out when you are political players in a state. Would you agree?
Now, let me ask you one thing.
Yes, sir.
When the entire process of the sanction for or the allotment of alternative sites starts from 2017 onward, and it reaches the peak. Finally, it has already taken its course of being given to them, and the final allotment or the allotment letter is being issued at the time when Mr. Bommai is there. You think Bommai would know that it is happening?
Exactly my point, Mr. Ibrahim.
This is
now this time around you nailed it for the viewers. I mean, exactly. Yeah.
This is at the level of MUDA. They distribute the sites. There are procedures that are followed, which I would say is violative of natural justice and illegal per se, which is happening there. Why should Bill Bommai be asking all the urban development departments in Karnataka, Shimoga Development Board, MUDA was one, BDA, all these places, who are you distributing the sites to? No chief minister will do it. But in the case of Siddaramaiah, he cannot deny the fact that he knows it, because in those deliberations of MUDA, although he was not present, his son was there in two important specific meetings of MUDA.
Right.
Where decision to give the sites to Mrs. Parvati was taken. His son was there.
All right. Mr. Abraham, there is a past precedent of such, when of prosecution of this kind. There is a past precedent. I don't want to go into that. But what kind of hopes do you have this time around? If this is because Nizam Faujdar, who's General Secretary of the Congress, he said, listen, the Chief Minister has said, you think it's illegal, take it back. Do you think it's as easy? You give me a candy and I say, I don't like it, take it back.
Not now. It doesn't hold water now.
Right.
Because if he had done this at the first strike, first time when this came out as an issue, if he had expressed his lack of knowledge about anything that is happening around, and if he had said, take it back if there's anything wrong, please, I'm not interfering in this, I would have stood by him.
Right, and like I said, the MUDA scam has exploded in the face of Karnataka government. I've completely run out of time. My thanks are due to Nizam Faujdar. My thanks are due to Vijay Prasad. Also, an apologies that I couldn't come back to you, and also to Mr. T.J. Abraham for joining us on the broadcast. Let's wait and see. Next week, it's going to boomerang into something else. The next story which is coming up is the political ground shifting in Tamil Nadu. Is there a breach between the Congress and the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam? On the cards, it's coming up after the break.
Cooking is an act of love. The first act of love we receive from our mothers in the families.
Modern Indian food is all about contemporary and innovative approach to traditional Indian cooking.
Representation it's also important,
I want to wear this white coat every day and then be a chef.
There are stories. If the name of whiskey is English, then there is a whole story behind that.
Cooking food is like a therapy. And eating one is like a pleasure I can give it to myself.
With lounge nights, I'm on a journey to celebrate and recognize the best food and nightlife establishments in various cities across India.
Radico presents Lounge Nights every Saturday and Sunday only on News9 Live.
Who am I?
Nobody can crack that mystery.
There is a certain expectation of me.
That's the only contradiction.
Life itself is stranger than fiction.
I was a perfectly normal person born in an abnormal world.
I really didn't understand why is it different.
Just imagine a child who is bullied every day.
Boys school में कुछ लड़का लोग मेरे साथ sexual abuse किए. मुझे तेरे बारे में सब पता है और मैं तेरा rape कर लूँगा.
You also start to stigmatize.
अरे ये तो time pass है.
Sex doesn't come in the picture. Sex comes very late. Then they are a man-made narrative.
Why do you walk like that? Why do you sway so much? So you can understand the trauma of a person who's trapped in a wrong body.
But nothing can bind life.
We have to reclaim the lost position. We fought for more than 10 years. Today I'm the mother of the industry. I'm a first transgender member judge.
You can't walk in everybody's shoes.
This is what I'm comfortable with.
They just are what they are.
You become the light yourself.
That is the change that I was looking for.
When I recognize myself is a small story, but it's an interesting one.
That's our next story. A breach in DMK and the Congress? We are asking a question. In Tamil Nadu, there seems to be enough indications that the political ground is kind of shifting. We are focusing on the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam and Congress alliance in the state, which has been a solid one. If viewed from the prism of the fabulous results the alliance has delivered in elections, but with the 2026 elections on the anvil, there are some signs that the Congress is now thinking of unhooking itself from the partnership. There is no doubt that the past 6 months have been tough for the DMK, with the MK Stalin-led party suffering a major beating to its image with what is perceived as its failures on numerous counts and issues. First, the so-called arrogance and unbridled powers vested within a close coterie comprising family and friends. Second are around 65 deaths in the Kallakurichi Hooch tragedy, with little or no major change in averting such tragedies for the future. The public hacking of BSP leader K. Armstrong on 5th of July, and then another hacking of an NTK functionary in Madurai. And lastly, the pending ascendance of Udayanidhi Stalin as Deputy Chief Minister. It's not as if the Congress is mulling over getting out of this alliance now, because since the last assembly elections, there have been murmurs that the Congress has always felt like a lesser partner, like a younger brother when it came to particularly allocating tickets and taking major decisions. It is just that now, with the DMK several chinks in the armor which are now visible to people at large, the Congress, which has received a fresh shot in the arm after 2024 elections, it may now seriously consider walking out of the alliance. So we are asking this question. Two guests will join us as of not. Indian Robert, spokesperson for the Tamil Nadu Congress, has joined us. Mr. Robert, so good to have you on my broadcast. Vanakkam, how are you?
Good evening. Vanakkam, good evening. I'm good, I'm good.
Okay, so Indian, may I call you Indian if it's okay with you?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Indian, there is no doubt that your party nationally today is, it's always the largest opposition, as it were. But today, particularly after 2024, it's got a veneer, or rather an image of a party which can actually create miracles. People were very surprised after the election. I am asking you today, with the DMK having such a sullied kind of an image in Tamil Nadu, on their murmurs that maybe you can do very well on your own, because since the 60s there has been no Dravidian party in Tamil Nadu, but before the 60s the Congress was ruling.
Actually, I want to say something that there is no that much of anti-incumbency against the current Tamil Nadu government. I wish to register that it is not like as BJP is having all over India. Most of the people in Tamil Nadu, they're satisfied with the government, especially the women are well satisfied with the Tamil Nadu government, their schemes implemented for the past 3 years. So there is no question whether Tamil Nadu government is performing well, number one. Number two, I wish to say that yes, I agree. Congress was in power before the early 60s, the early 50s. But post 60s, we lost the power due to the drift in the ideology. When the Perundalaivar Kamarajar was there in power,
you have to unmute yourself, Inian.
Yes.
You're done. Okay.
I'm back. So when Kamarajar was there in power, he spoke in the language of Tamil Nadu. But when Kamaraji went to the central politics, the chief minister who came next to Kamaraj, he misled the party in Tamil Nadu, especially in the terms of Hindi imposition. And that's the point where Congress lost its foot in Tamil Nadu.
All right, let's come to the, we know, Inian, I'm sorry to interject, Inian, sorry. But I'm asking you that isn't it a fact that the state unit, many members of it, because considering that I have, I have friends in Tamil Nadu, they are saying that they are very uncomfortable now with the following thing. A, the Kallakurichi, which was very unfortunate, and we all know, listen, there is no point fooling ourselves and saying it, because the nexus of the politicians and others who make local illegal arrack is very well known in Tamil Nadu. The hacking of Armstrong, also BSP leader, hacking of the functionary of NTK, fine, whether he was a rowdy or not a rowdy is not the point. The extrajudicial killing of Thiruvengadan, one of the alleged accused in the Armstrong murder. The rumor swirling around, and the biggest problem is that MK Stalin is not actually in control. Day in and day out there is talk about this. There is only a clutch of people, his family, son-in-law, friends and everyone who make all the decisions. And then the rise of Udayanidhi Stalin as a deputy chief minister, and the rise of Thalapathy Vijay, the actor, as somebody who is going to give a very good fight in 2026. These are the reasons which have been given. I have listed out at least 8 reasons. There are more. When the Congress has now a pan-Indian image, why is it, they ask, many whom I have spoken to, that we always have to pay heed to these people in DMK? Why?
No, see, first of all, I agree that there is law and order issue in Tamil Nadu. We are not neglecting it or not saying no to it. Every state will face such issues, and we have already requested the Tamil Nadu government to focus more on the law and order issue. It doesn't mean that we are against the alliance. I hope we got it. And next, I don't think the people who are those who are in the right position of the party, either as a functionary or as an MP or MLA, they would never say that we don't want the DMK alliance. It's because it is not just a political alliance, it's an ideological alliance. We are not just being in alliance for seats or to become an MP or MLA.
Would you be Inian Robert, would you be open to having an alliance with the All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, AIA, DMK?
No, not necessary. The reason is
that can be ideological also.
No. The AIDMK under Madam Jayalalitha was different from the current one.
All right.
So we must understand the reality that we couldn't trust AIDMK now. We still accuse that it is having ties with BJP indirectly. It's because they are not very strong in the driving ideology.
All right. Okay,
they compromise a lot in the needs and as well as social justice.
All right. Salem Dharnidharan, spokesperson for the DMK, has also joined us. Hi, good to have you on the show. I want to ask you that there are enough and more indications that the Congress, state unit Congress workers are not happy being in alliance or in a marriage with the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, and the reasons are several, and they are all preparing for 2026, much like Udayanidhi Stalin, who is going to be Deputy Chief Minister in a couple of weeks, is what we are hearing, before Mr. Muka Stalin goes abroad for treatment, that they are preparing for 2026, and they feel with the deteriorating law and order situation in Tamil Nadu, with the all the powers being vested in family and friends of Muka Stalin family, they feel that they can actually unhook and leave the alliance and go alone, go it alone, or maybe join some other rainbow coalition.
I don't get your question. If you are saying Congress, I don't get your question.
You are in alliance with the Congress. There are murmurs that the Congress is not very happy with the alliance with you in the state.
I don't know. I'm not hearing any such murmurs. That's why that it's very difficult for me to even fathom this idea. I think it's an ideological alliance, and my leader MK Stalin and Rahul Gandhi are Congress. They are wedded together in the mind. It's an ideological alliance. I don't think there is any confusion whatsoever. I don't know why from where this is coming.
That's how it all begins. There is a confusion, there is clarity. That's what Indian politics is all about. But I really respect where you're coming from, Dharnidharan, saying that I haven't heard of it. Sure, you may not have. But I'm going to ask you something. One of the reasons given by those who are very, very kind of restless in this alliance, the Congress people, they are saying it's because of the deteriorating law and order situation in Tamil Nadu. Would you agree that the law and order situation needs to be tightened in the state now?
See, the fact of the matter is, of course, we always have a very high benchmark, so we always want to improve ourselves, right? But the fact of the matter remains that if you look at the NCRB data, the crime rates in Tamil Nadu are much lower than the BJP ruled states. Of course, I think whatever incident that happened in the recent past should not have happened, and we are making sure that that doesn't repeat in the future. I'm not trying to wash my hands off by saying, see, NCRB data, we are better off. But having said that, it's not as bad as how the BJP is making it appear. Right. The law order problem.
It's not the BJP. I don't belong to. No. It's been terrible. The public hacking and all that. It's not the BJP is doing. It happened very much in Chennai. It happened in Madurai. Anyway, Dharnidharan, I also want to ask you, what is your opinion about the rise of Dalapati Vijay, the actor who's gearing up, battle ready to face 2026? Because a lot of Congress functionaries in Tamil Nadu feel that that is one element that they cannot ignore, and they also have to get ready to fight a battle.
No, the fact remains that anyone can join politics, right? It's a democratic country. You, me, anyone can join and start a party also. No one will be stopped. How they perform, I think it's for the people to decide. But but we have seen in the last 15 years or 20 years how people from film fraternity have fared, and politics is played on grassroots level. So we do wish him all the best, but it's too early to say what impact he will make. But having said that, I do not think that DMK is on the back foot or our alliance is fragile. Our alliance is very, very intact, and our leader, as I said, MK Stalin and Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the Congress party, are in very good understanding and very good terms, because an ideological alliance. And in fact, Tamil Nadu, we Congress and the DMK alliance swept this time and the last time. I do not think there is even a lot of confusion.
Okay. Indian Robert, I want to come to you that if the list I gave you, that these could be the reasons, and you're also saying, of course you will say it, that everything is hunky-dory. What is that one thing that you want improved as a major alliance partner with the DMK? The law and order situation in Tamil Nadu, don't you think that requires major surgery? Indian Robert?
See, I agree with that. There are certain law and order issues. But the reality is, it's a constructive criticism which you're keeping before DMK. Right. It is not going to affect the alliance anymore. It's a constructive criticism where you're asking the government to focus more on law and order issues. And please study the NCRB data, as Dharnidharan said. We are far, far better than states like UP and Bihar, where even the crime is not being recorded. Here, the crime is recorded and the trials are going on. It's followed by the state government. So
I find it very sad. I actually find it very sad that people who are in politics want to even do whataboutery about crime, one rape, one abduction, one public hacking is crime, period. To compare yourself with worse states, I mean, you're not a Bimaru state, for God's sake, you're Tamil Nadu. And I think that you have to keep your, come on. You're not a Bimaru state.
Yeah,
you're all, so I see this as a specious argument.
We are far better.
Yeah.
No, even though, I agree we are far better than the Bimaru state, but still, we're doing better. Our government is tracking the accused behind Armstrong's murder. Our government has arrested all those who are behind the Kallakurichi incident. But whether can you give a guarantee that BJP government have done such things in Gujarat and Bihar or UP?
Right. I will not get, no, I won't, because Kallakurichi also you can make amendment to the laws. Let me tell you something, that it was completely the failure of the state because of which 65 people lost their lives in Kallakurichi. I'm not going to change my stand on that, but as of now, the topic that we are discussing, is there a breach? Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see how the cookie crumbles when it comes to politics. Indian Robert, such a pleasure having you on the show, and also Dharani Dharan, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Although we were waiting long for you, but you did join, and thanks very much for that. And ladies and gents, the South Indian, as promised, leaves you with some of the other top headlines from the south of India. Vanakkam.
The Economics Survey made a very interesting observation. It suggested that India's future energy requirements and goals must not depend on hostile nations. In other words, our resource dependence on countries who are not aligned with us must be relooked before it is too late. India's dependence on critical mineral imports